So today we're going to be doing a little catfishing at one of Orlando's urban ponds. So as you can see here, we have a new reel. It's the Piscifun Chaos 50. So it's a size 50 reel, and we're on a Santee Cooper rig, which is basically just a Carolina rig with a float right above the hook to keep the bait off the ground. So we'll get this cast on out. I'm going to throw, I have a few different baits, and we'll see what they start hitting. Okay, so we got this rod rigged up with a little bit of hot dog. I'm just gonna let it run and hit bottom. I believe it's not super deep here. And then this reel also has a clicker, so do that. I'm gonna set the drag real loose, so that way when something starts taking off with it, we'll be able to hear what's going on. Then I have another usual catfishing rod here, and this one is just the Ugly Stick GX2, just a spinning reel. This one, instead of the Santee Cooper rig, it's just set up with a regular Carolina rig. We're gonna drop it on out here too, set the drag pretty loose, and do the same thing and just wait till we get a bite. It's a really pretty muscovy duck there. He's got like his green feathers going on and everything. Okay, we just had something hitting this rod again. I'm not sure if it's still on. Let's see if we can set the drag here. Yeah, I can't tell if this is a fish or not. Wait. No. Oh, yeah, there is a fish on. Let's see what we got here. A little catfish. Nice, let's bring him on up. He has got the, whatever's going on with the hook here, all sorts of messed up. There we go. You can hear him croaking. There we go. There he is. So this guy, I know he's pretty small, but he's long enough and kind of thick enough that I think he'll make some good fillets. So we're gonna throw him in the bucket and keep on fishing. Okay, so we're rigged back up with our chicken. And one thing I noticed while fighting that catfish in was I really like this thumb indentation on the reel. It makes it really easy to be able to kind of fight the fish. But yeah, we're gonna get cast back on out. Hopefully we can hook into a few more. I think we may have something on this rod here. So just took off with it pretty good. Oh no. I felt whatever it was just come loose. Cast it back on out and just wait. It's right on the rod on the right here is getting hit. See if we've got something here. Feels like we do. Nice, yeah. We definitely have something. Oh no, did it just come off? It just came off. Whatever it was. Oh my goodness, that's the second fish we've lost. So I think we're gonna call it quits for fishing for today. I can say this reel honestly performed pretty well. I can't complain with it. It's gonna live on my catfish setup, and then also this is gonna become my saltwater setup if I decide to go to the coast and do some saltwater fishing as well. So we're gonna keep it here, but otherwise we only got the one fish, and I'm gonna cook it up here shortly. So I hope you guys will join me for that. I'm gonna do a quick outro of this reel as well. Honestly, for the price, it's incredible. I think I got it around $50. The 40 size is a bit cheaper and the 60 size is a bit more expensive, but you can usually find them on sale or like a 15 or 20% off deal just pretty much anywhere. Honestly, it held up really well. Like I was mentioning, I really like this thumb grip in it. Has a really strong drag setting, and as long as you set the tension knob, the backlashing is like pretty minimal. So honestly, pretty solid rod first impression wise. We'll see how it holds up long term though. Okay, so now we're going to be cooking this catfish that we caught earlier. So as before, I'm just going to do like I did previously. There's a bone right here that you can kind of cut into. Just cut down. Then we're going to turn him up on his back and then just kind of go along the top of the spine here. Then we're just going to start slowly opening him on up. So we're just going to keep cutting along those ribs. You gotta be really careful not to cut yourself. And here we are. So we have one pretty small catfish fillet here. And you'll notice this side still has the skin on it. So what we want to do is just get rid of the skin. And there we go, one beautifully skinned catfish fillet. Here's my bucket of ice water. We're just gonna drop this fillet on in there, and any gunk that was on it from the whole skinning process should hopefully kind of dissipate in there. We'll use that water to like clean off the fillets once we're done too. Now we just start on the other side. Okay, so now that we've got this one all cut off, I'm just gonna trim off some of the less desirable pieces. Like we have this little blood spot here. Just gonna trim that off there. We don't want that. There we go. And just like before, we still have the skin, so we're just gonna take that off. Okay, so there we have it. We have our second fillet here. It's looking pretty good. We'll just get it there as well. So we got our fillets ready. I'm just cooking for myself today, so these two small fillets will be plenty. So I'm just gonna pat them dry. What this will do is allow them to get a better sear on the cast iron. There's not gonna be any water bubbling up, so just pat them dry, and then we're gonna be coating them in a seasoning. And if you see any like nasty pieces, like that's a little piece of the skin left over, we'll get those off as well. So I'm gonna clean this on up and then start seasoning here in just 1 second. Okay, so our cast iron, you can see it's kind of smoking over here, so it's definitely ready. What I'm gonna do is just season up our catfish fillets. I'm gonna put a lot of blackening seasoning on the fillets, just coat them down real good. And I'm gonna coat both sides. Now that both sides are coated, I'm also going to sprinkle on a touch of salt on each of them. Be aware your blackening seasoning may already have salt on it, so you may not want a ton of salt here. Mine doesn't come with a ton of salt added, so adding a little extra salt doesn't hurt. Now I'm just going to use some vegetable oil to get the pan coated in oil. And then we'll throw them on for a couple minutes on each side. So one thing you have to be aware of when doing this is you want your cast iron hot enough that it's gonna like sear one side, but you don't want it so hot that it's not gonna cook the center. So that's one thing to be aware of. It looks like our one side is starting to get cooked through. You can see around the edges it's starting to turn wider. So I'm just gonna give it a couple seconds longer and we'll go ahead and flip it on over. There we go. You'll see that blackening seasoning crisp up nicely. And that's how you know like it's cooking well. One thing I recommend too, if you guys don't have one of these, this is a fish spatula. It's really good about not allowing your fish to stick and get like fully under the fish when you flip it. Really, really recommend one of these guys. I use it for eggs, fish, pretty much anything. And then also I'm just gonna finish it off with a touch of butter. We'll just put a touch of butter in there. And that'll help cook through and finish both sides. You can see here we're coming up on 145 degrees, and that's the safe temperature at which you can eat fish. If you don't have a thermometer, it'll vary depending on the size of the fillets that you're cooking. But generally 2 to 3 minutes on each side will roughly get you there, unless your fillets are like super thick. So I'm about to take these off the heat now, and we'll serve them up. Just cooking off some vegetables now. I have a baked potato that just finished up in the oven as well. So we'll have a baked potato, some fresh vegetables, and our catfish for dinner. Okay, so we're just finishing up our meal here. We got a little vegetable medley going on. We have some Brussels sprouts, some onions, some red peppers, some green peppers, and some mushrooms, kind of all stir-fried up a little bit together. So we're just gonna throw these into our plate as well. But yeah, here's our final product for our catch and cook. We have a hot sauce baked potato. We have our catfish beautifully seared on up there. And then we just have our stir-fried vegetables. So overall, I hope you enjoyed the catch and cook. I'm going to enjoy this meal now, and I'll see you in the next one.